Hi, I'm Terry with Crosse Technology. We're looking today at how to set up the WS-1912 professional weather station with the wind sensor, the display, and the remote outdoor sensor. And we start with that outdoor sensor. The cap just slides off. The mounting stand usually pulls off easier. We won't worry about that. And we open the sensor by sliding the cover down, and we're going to put two AA alkaline batteries into this sensor. We want to make certain that the batteries we use are fresh, that they're a name brand, and preferably dated 6 years ahead of the current year or more. Once the batteries are into that sensor, our next step is simply to hook up our wind gauge. The wind gauge comes with 32 feet of cable on it. We're not going to use all that for our demonstration here. And we will simply plug that in with the provided cable. And we're going to move the wind gauge and the sensor about 5 or 6 feet away right now. Our next step is to power up our display unit. To do that, and you see the stand just flaps down, we simply push the tab forward, and we're going to put 3 AA batteries in here. And when we put it in, it'll count down a bit, and then it shows us the display. At this point in time, the display is not receiving the outdoor sensor. Well, it just did. It just picked up our temperature and our humidity. Setting up the unit after this is done with the buttons on the back. We take a look. You'll notice we have a set button, a plus button, a min-max, and a history button. Set and plus are the two we're going to be using. We start by pressing the set button and holding it. Okay, we've held our set button down. We have LCD 5 showing up. That flashing number just shows how dense the display is going to be. And we can adjust it up by using the plus button, and down by using the min-max button. We press set a second time, and we have our time set. We see the time here, 12 o'clock. It's actually about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm simply going to press and release the plus button until I see 4 p.m. Notice the p.m. to the left of the hour. Press the set button once again, and the minutes are flashing. And it's 3 minutes after the hour. So we'll just click on that plus button until we get 03. If we hold it down, it'll move in 5-minute increments. We just want to make certain we don't let it get too far ahead of us. Press and release the set button once again. A 12H is showing. By pressing the plus button, we can convert that to a 24-hour military type clock. We'll leave this in 12-hour. Pressing plus once again, our year is flashing. It's 2011 right now. We change that with the plus button. Pressing set once again, the month is flashing. We're going to set this for May. We'll press the set button once again, the day is flashing, and we'll make it the 3rd of May. Press the set once again. We can choose between degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. Using the plus button, we'll take it to Fahrenheit and leave it there. Pressing the set button once again, we get to choose our wind speed. We have miles per hour, or we have meters per second, or we have kilometers per hour. We're going to leave it in miles per hour. Pressing the set button once again, we look at our rainfall. We're going to leave it at inches, and the rainfall is only measured if you've purchased the optional rain sensor. Pressing the set button once again, we have the option of inches of mercury for our pressure reading, or hectopascals. We're going to go to inches of mercury. Pressing set once again, our pressure is flashing. We can use the plus button to mount up, the min-max button to count down, and you can get the actual pressure at the place where you're setting this up through a number of sources, local weather bureau, websites like Weather Underground and such. Pressing the set button once again, we have our forecast and pressure sensitivity. Typically, people will leave this at the default 0.09. Pressing the set once again, we have a low pressure alarm. If we lose more than 0.15 inches of mercury in an hour, this is going to beep. But we've set the alarms to off, AOF. By pressing the plus button, we can set them to on if we want that to happen. Pressing the set button once again, and our display is in its normal function. Things to notice: we're showing wind chill, wind speed, outdoor temperature and humidity, and the current pressure. We have a pressure graph. On the right side, it shows where the pressure is now, and from there, working to the left, you have 3 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 12 hours ago, so you can see the general pressure trends. Pressing the set button just one time without holding it down, and we see the dew point showing up and the maximum gust that's been read. Pressing the set button a second time brings us back to our normal modes.